Greetings, my name's Tim Johnson. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. Just over a year now into my recovery from addiction to alcohol and opiates, addiction that lasted 35 years and brought me nothing but misery and unhappiness. And I can honestly share with you now that I am happier mentally, spiritually, physically, in every single way, healthier, more contented, calm, clear in my head. And I truly believe the reason for this is the 7 principles I'm going to share with you in this video. I also believe that these principles, if worked on and you're aware of every single day of your life, can work for any one of you. It doesn't matter whether you're still in addiction or going into withdrawal or considering it in early recovery or as you move on to later recovery. These principles will bring you contentedness and happiness that perhaps you've never known before. And it doesn't really matter how busy your life is or how busy your job is or how full it is or what state you're in now, because 14 months ago I was 18 stone lying in a room coughing up blood. So these things, these principles will work whatever condition you're in, and however busy your life is, you can find time for this. Yes, they take some time, and also they take patience. They're not a miracle cure that you can snap your fingers and expect to feel like that straight away, but you need to apply them every single day, of your life basically, or certainly be aware of some of them. Um, and as Confucius once said, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop. So really, with all of these, it's a case of never giving up, because and about patience, because it's always, as you know, in life, it's always the sort of the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. So some of these can work quite quickly, and some of them take more time, but they will work. I guarantee and promise you that they will work in my experience, because they've worked for me. And I was a sorry state, a while back, and I'd given up on life, and I was ready to commit suicide. So it's a total about turn. So without any further ado, I'll share these principles with you. Number one, and these aren't in any order of importance. These are principles that I apply daily in my life, and it doesn't really matter what order they come in. They're all equally as important to each other, in my opinion. And there are probably things that I've forgotten that may be important to you. These 7 things are very important to me. Number one is gratitude and thankfulness. And I've said this one before, but I truly believe, and never did believe in the past, how important gratitude and thankfulness are. The small things in life, um, things that you've taken for granted because you're very selfish when you're in addiction, and things you never think about. A roof over your head, for instance, clean water that comes from the tap, a meal on the table in front of you, some clothes on your back, the nature that surrounds you, and most importantly of all, probably your loved ones that there's there for you, and exist in the first place. Anyhow, there's many things, and I write down a sort of definitive gratitude list that I add to probably every day. And the first thing I do when I open my eyes every morning, once I've sort of become conscious, if you like, is pick up this list and read them out aloud and digest them. It takes a few minutes, it takes 5 minutes, and I may add one or two things to them, and it can be, and a simple thing, and it's like just a gratitude that and a thankfulness that you're alive, your heart's still beating, that you're still taking breath, that you've opened your eyes for another day. Whatever it is for you, write them down, because if you go into the day with this, it programs your mind for this attitude of gratitude and thankfulness. It becomes almost a feeling of optimism and positivity for the day as well, and it also sets you up, to appreciate every little thing in your life, and it brings you happiness. So that's number one. Number two, connection. Now, in a previous video, I talked about connection, because of technology, the mobile phone in particular, and computers, and etc. etc. We've sort of lost touch with connection, with whatever we believe in, really, because of sort of we're just looking for instant gratification all the time, and the pace of life, and everything's instant and easy, and we don't have to fight for anything like we used to, or work at anything as hard as we used to. It's just there, we're sort of addicted to everything really, not just drugs and alcohol. It's instant gratification is an addiction in itself. So we lose our connection. In recovery, you need that connection. Now, for some of you, it will be God, and for some of you, it will be Buddha, Allah, whatever your connection is. That is, that's up to you. That's an individual choice. My connection happens to be with something called Taoism, which I've followed for many years on and off, but only really this last year have become very connected with. And I'm not going to preach about it because it's each to their own. If you want to find out about it, look up about it. But really, it's not a religion anyway. That's the first thing to say. It's a philosophy of life, a way of life that connects to nature and the four principles of nature, basically. Because again, as humans, as you're all probably aware, we've lost touch with nature, and I find, I believe it is extremely important that way, being at one, and it makes me truly content and happy and at peace when I find this. And those four principles are oneness, dynamic balance, cyclical growth, and harmonious action. And the principles of Qigong and Tai Chi are based in Taoism, which literally translates as the way. And basically, it's a path of sort of non-action and going with the flow of nature. And sounds, to some it doesn't suit, but to me it brings me peace, and it brings me tranquility, and a feeling of connection, if you like, to the earth. And I truly believe there is something definitely greater than ourselves. Yes, I don't label it as particularly as a god or whatever, but it certainly is a great intelligence that I just sort of follow and go with the flow, if you like. And I just believe we come from there and we go back to there. We come from nature, we go back to nature, and we never stop existing. And that's my belief, and that's my connection, and that's brought me peace. What yours is your choice, but it's very important in recovery to have this connection, this spirituality, if you want to call it spirituality, if you like. But to me, that's worked. Anyway, number 3 is goals, what I've called goals and giving back. I started off in early recovery, and again, if you look back at my earlier videos, and please subscribe and please like these and please share these videos if they are useful to you, because they will reach more people that way. And if I can help one person, then these are worth for me sitting to make them, and they help me anyway. So it's and help my recovery, and I recommend them to anyone. Sorry, goals and giving back. In early recovery, in my early videos, I mentioned about small goals, and when you're in early recovery or withdrawal, and goal setting is very important. Achieving a goal releases the same hormones in your brain as opiates do. They release dopamine and serotonin. Small goals to start with. Those goals might just be, and they were for me in early recovery and withdrawal, might making your bed, or drinking 6 pints of water in the day, or whatever they are. They contribute to you moving forward, and that's really important. And goals lead to giving back as well, and eventually those goals, and leads me on to giving back, but eventually those goals become greater, and your dreams, the dreams that you've had, whilst you were in addiction or prior to that or whatever, can again become a reality, because they are for me becoming reality. And the goals become greater, and they become, I make a goals list every single day, of what I want to achieve in that day. I might make one for the week as well, of what I want to achieve in that week. And then I have a long-term goals list, what I want to perhaps achieve. And this is not coming out of the brain and thinking out of the day. It's just goal setting this. I'm not trying to think into the future. I'm just writing down goals that perhaps I'd like to achieve. And that might be learning something, a new skill, or it might be achieving optimum health. I mean, my main goal and dream, if you like, is to become the best person I can possibly be, the best version of me I can be. And I've said this before. And all of these 7 things lead me towards that on a daily basis. But that's my ultimate goal, if you like. But also I have life goals as well. I'm writing at the moment. I'm writing a self-help book. And, I'm doing all sorts of stuff. I'm writing a novel. I'm learning a new language. These things, are all part of growing and moving forward. Small goals, bit larger goals, life goals, and also leads to giving back. Giving back is extremely important in recovery. It is in life because we've forgotten how to do it. And, I look, it's not about looking for kudos or looking for pats on the back or anything. I just go very quietly in every week, and I volunteer with the homeless and drug addicted people of Malaga. And I cook and I serve food for them as part of the Angels of the Night charity. And it's not just about giving back in that way, although that's important. It's about giving back on a daily basis because I have a goal that I like. I want to learn something every day, and I want to create something every day, and I want to perhaps help someone or give out some positivity every day. And I can do that through the Facebook groups I'm in, the private groups, or people that email me and ask for help, or whichever outlet I use. I find it extremely rewarding to give back and help. Part of your recovery is that. Because people did that for me, and I've not forgotten that in the early, things that spurred me onto this final surge. After 35 years of trying to stop and never succeeding, after rehab, and after Suboxone, and after Bear, all the stuff and counselling and psychotherapy, and nothing ever worked except this and this push that these people gave me and this support initially that they gave me. So that's extremely important. Number 4 is mindfulness and mindset. This is extremely important. As I said, these aren't in any particular order of importance, but I consider this to be, it's been my most, the most used tool, if you like, the one that's driven me on through all the others. Mindfulness, as you know, is, and I'm not going to harp on about this, but meditation and trying to get your head in the day, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. And as I say, doesn't matter, there's no excuse. You can make excuses to yourself, to yourselves or whoever, I haven't got time for any of this. I'm busy. I've got, family, children, job, blah, blah, blah. But, I've got quite a busy life now as well. It doesn't matter how busy you are. You can always bang an hour into your day, spread over a day to accomplish nearly all of this, beginning or the end. Set your alarm an hour earlier, go to bed an hour, whatever it is, you can find time. Trust me. And if you don't find time, I don't believe that you're committed enough. It's simple as that. And I'm not trying to judge you, but it's important to get these things done. So mindfulness is trying to find the present moment, if you like, and that leads on to your mindset, and training your mind in your mindset. Now, the real important mindset here is obviously the never giving up mentality and moving forward, but discipline, 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 discipline. When you don't feel like doing something, before that 5-second rule kicks in, as I've said in previous videos, do it. Get into, push yourself. It might be exercise. It might be something you don't want to eat. It might be one of these things. It might be meditating for 10 minutes. It might be whatever it is. If you don't feel like doing it, if you leave it longer than that 5 seconds, your brain will stop you doing it or talk you out of doing it. There's no doubt about that, just like it did in your addiction when it talked you into giving in to withdrawal pangs or giving in to cravings or, taking the easy way out. It will talk you out of doing these things that you don't like doing or perhaps are a bit uncomfortable. Discipline, determination, persistence, patience, willpower, never giving up, strength, whatever you want to call all these things, that's your mindset. It's a permanent mindset. And mindfulness and meditation practice help you find that in yourself because we've all got it. You've all got it in spades. It's just that you know, we let our brain talk us out of doing things that we don't feel comfortable with or feel uncomfortable to us in whatever way. Okay, that's that. Never give up. That's the important message from that. If you get knocked down 7 times, you get up 8 times. And be patient because instant gratification is programmed into our heads these days. It doesn't happen overnight. All of this is daily work on yourself, becoming the better person. a better version of you, the most authentic version of you, whatever you want to call these things. They all mean the same thing. Number 5 is forgiveness and kindness. You have to cross this hurdle. You have to forgive. You have to lose resentment. You have to lose anger, and you have to lose bitterness. I carried them around with me all my life, from a little boy, from my father leaving to my mother being alcoholic. Blamed all my addictions on everything apart from myself. You need to come to terms with this, but at the same time, you need self-forgiveness. You need to learn to love yourselves. And I hated myself. I like myself now. I like the person I'm becoming. I like me. And that's taken a long time to even say those words, to even look in the mirror. It's taken a long time. Forgiveness, you have to come to terms with it. Well, however you do that, with counseling, with psychotherapy, with self-help. I approached it myself, and I came with thoughts of love to the people that I needed to forgive, and that's it. And the feelings of resentment and anger just went. And kindness comes and follows on, because kindness and love, giving that out, don't exist hardly in the world these days, because we're all busy running around looking at our phones and looking at the next bit of instant gratification that we can slam down our bodies or slam into our bodies, or whatever it is. Yesterday, I stopped and helped 2 people in Bellamanda Prebo that were old. And I know this sounds trite, but this little old lady was carrying her shopping down the street, and I convinced her I wasn't going to mug her to start with, because that's always a thought that probably came into her head. But the beam on her face when I lifted her shopping and carried it to her front door for her was worth £1,000,000 to me. Just being kind to people, just literally walking down the street and smiling at someone and getting a smile back. You're putting out positivity, because the universe will return that positivity in droves to you. There's no doubt about that. What goes around comes around is a very true saying, and it does work. So give it a go, please. And that's forgiveness and kindness. Number 6, I'm not going to harp on about these last 2, because they are extremely important and are to me, but I've harped on about them in other videos. Number 6 is diet. And I'll say it again and again and again and again and again and again. What you put into your body, you'll get out of your body and mind. It's not just your body you're affecting by what you eat and drink. It is your mind and your feelings, your emotions, your attitude. You put clean stuff in, your body responds to that, and your mind does as well. And make a start. It's not easy to go. It's all the way. It's taken me a year to get to the stage I'm at with my diet. And if you look back at my last couple of previous videos of the 7 food groups that I've cut out, that's still the case and always will be now. But start by cutting out processed food, anything in a packet, and sugar. Cut those 2 things out, and you will crave for a few days. That's normal. That's your body just fighting. The anti-inflammatory and the immune system looking for something to kill, because these things aren't natural. After 3 or 4 days, those cravings go. Start eating natural foods. No excuse about it being dearer to eat that way, because it's actually cheaper for me to eat that way than it is to eat processed and packet and takeaway and junk food. So look into it. Diet is so important, and drinking and hydration. 8 to 10 pints of water a day is crucial to your energy, your well-being, your hydration, and your mindset. So that's that. And finally, exercise, the one that's probably least favourite for most people. Just please, just start. You don't have to go to the lengths that I've got to over the year, and I do exercise 2 to 3 hours a day now, because I love doing it, and my body doesn't feel normal unless I do it. It releases all the same feel-good stuff that's 100 times better and more, and obviously natural than drugs and alcohol do. It may just be, it's so important every single day just to get a 20-minute walk in the fresh air, because it gets your lymph system moving. It's necessary to eliminate toxins. It's necessary to get sunlight and supercharged vitamin D on your body, fresh oxygen into your lungs, because breathing comes on with this. Look at my videos on the Wim Hof method, which I practice daily, because exercise and breathing are crucial to your recovery, to your well-being, to your mental, physical, spiritual state. Just 20 minutes walking a day is more than enough. You don't have to go mad on the weights. You don't have to, push yourself to the extreme. Only if you want to, and you will. The more exercise you do, the more you'll want to get that feeling, and the more you will feel better, and the more you look into it. I use calisthenics now, which is just your own body weight, and that's been fantastic. I use yoga, which is amazing and can be done by anyone at any time of the day. Just 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and you'll feel amazing, and it's great. So please, every day try and exercise a bit and get out in the fresh air every day. How much you do is up to you. It's a personal choice. So they're the 7 things that I wanted to share with you. There's probably more, and there's probably some you'll do that I don't do, etc., etc., etc. Because all these things become a way of life, and they lead on to other positivity and optimism, and that mindset, which is about, like I say, optimism, lovingness, kindness, gratefulness, giving back, health. What you're putting out into the universe, you're getting back, and you're trying to put those things out there every single day. And it's never. And I'll just finish off by saying something that, and I just glanced down at it just to remind me what to say here, but. It's never too late to do this. I did this at 56 years old. You can do it whatever age you are, whatever stage of addiction you're at. This will keep you in a state of what I call, there's 3 stages of my addiction. There were trauma, transformation, and now transcendence, if you like. And that sounds really, really mighty and grand, but I can honestly say I've never felt like this before. And you can feel the same way. And this is someone who 14 months ago, me, who was coughing up blood, ready to kill himself at 17 stone, person who never saw daylight, and after 35 years of whacking opiates and alcohol into himself and never being able to stop. So please give this a go. It's never, never, never too late to be what you might have been, and that's something I jotted down. Um, you know what you might have been, what you can be, and what you will be if you follow these principles. So I hope that's been helpful too. Please subscribe, please like, please share if you found this useful, and please, if you're struggling, just hold on, because it will get better, and it always does get better. And start thinking about and practicing some of these principles, even if you don't practice all of them, because they will bring joy, happiness, clarity, calmness, contentedness into your life that you've never known before, as they have for me. So until next time, carpe diem. Don't forget, carpe diem. Seize the day. Today's the day you can change your life. Today's the day you will change your life. Discipline, determination, persistence, patience. Never ever give up. Much love to you all. Thank you. Bye bye.